everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. This is Real Leather Certified Career Coach. Welcome back to my channel, your dedicated space for unraveling the intricacies of career advancement, fluctuating job market, and exploring strategies for career success. Our topic today is asynchronous interviews, also known as solo interviews or one-way interviews. As a job seeker, if you've never experienced this way of interviewing, it won't be long until you do. And for those of us who've experienced it, we may remember being underprepared. So, why do these types of interviews seem to be more common and gaining in popularity? Well, let's dive in. Companies use solo interviews for several reasons. First is efficiency. Solo interviews allow companies to screen many candidates efficiently. Instead of scheduling and conducting individual interviews, recruiters can review candidates' recorded responses at their convenience, saving time and resources, which also means it allows for flexibility. Asynchronous interviews offer flexibility for both candidates and recruiters. Candidates can record their interviews when it's convenient. Of course, it has to be within the given time frame. Recruiters can review those responses whenever it's convenient for them without being bound by specific interview time slots. Additionally, the recording can be shared with other members of the hiring team to help narrow down the candidate pool. It helps with standardization. Solo interviews help standardize the interview process by ensuring that all candidates are asked the same set of questions. This consistency allows for fair evaluation and comparisons between candidates. It allows recruiters to assess communication skills. Recording video responses allows recruiters to assess candidates' communication skills, presentation abilities, and overall professionalism. It provides insights into how candidates articulate their thoughts and ideas, which is especially important for roles that require strong communication skills. It allows them to have global reach. Asynchronous interviews can be conducted across different time zones and locations, making it easier for companies to reach candidates from diverse backgrounds and geographic locations. This expands the talent pool and promotes diversity and inclusion in hiring spaces. Reduction of bias. By standardizing the interview process and focusing on candidates' qualifications and responses, solo interviews can help reduce unconscious bias in the hiring decision. By reaching a broader talent pool, companies increase the likelihood of hiring individuals with diverse perspectives, experiences, and skills, which can help mitigate biases and promote inclusivity in the workplace. So overall, solo interviews offer a streamlined and effective way for companies to assess candidates' qualifications, skills, and fit for the role while providing flexibility and efficiency in the hiring process. Now, the format is different, and so are the questions. Because you will only have a short time to give your answer should be short as well. So, what kind of common questions can you expect? Well, I think the first one, the dreaded one that's both traditional and in solo interviews, is tell us about yourself. But in this case, you want to make sure that you keep it short. You want to provide a brief overview of your professional background, skills, and experiences as they relate to the position. Next question you can anticipate is why are you interested in working for us? Third, if you could describe your working style in 3 words, what would they be? A variation of this question also, if you can describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be? Or if your colleagues were to describe you in 3 words, what would those words be? And lastly, another example is, do you prefer working as a team or solo, and why? So once you understand the types of questions that you can expect to hear, here are some steps to try to replicate the scenario at home so you can practice. First is prepare your interview setup. For the interview, you will be in front of your computer using your webcam and microphone. If possible, use an external webcam and microphone for the best quality. You will not meet with the real person. Your question will be asked on the recorded video. Be sure that you are dressed properly for a job interview. Next is consider your environment. Choose a quiet and well-lit space for recording your responses. Make sure there are no distractions or background noises that could disrupt your recording. Inspect your surroundings to make sure that it's uncluttered. And then familiarize yourself with the platform used for the asynchronous interview by watching the introduction. Quickly understand how it works, including how to navigate your questions and record your responses. and then submit them within the given time. But please note that rarely have I seen that applicants are able to access the platform and then return to it. I've only ever seen that you enter it once, and that is your recording date. So keep that in mind. Now, most platforms will give you a couple of minutes to familiarize yourself with the system. The time will be short, so you'll have to learn fast. The pace is fast, even for this career coach. As a note, they aren't looking for perfection, but they are looking for someone who can articulate relevant information in a very short time. By short time, I mean anywhere from 15 to 45 seconds to answer, depending on the question. Now, before the actual interview, practice recording. Use the few minutes allotted to you by familiarizing yourself with the recording process. Practice speaking clearly and confidently while looking directly into the camera. Pay attention to your tone of voice, facial expressions, and body language. For real-time pressure, set a timer. I strongly suggest that you practice before going into the platform. Review and practice your responses. This is the unnerving part, and the only way I can think of finding some level of confidence is to practice the format. To familiarize yourself, carefully review all the potential questions in advance. And if you like, you can find more online. Consider writing the questions on index cards and picking from the pile randomly, like old school style. Just like in a traditional interview, prepare thoughtful and concise responses to each question. Focus on highlighting your relevant skills, experiences, and achievements that align with the job requirements, but keep it short. Another option for practice is to use ChatGPT mobile app voice mode to interview you. In the app, you simply paste the job description and write the prompt, I want to practice job interview questions for this job description, and then turn on the voice mode. A human sounding voice will emerge and walk you through the process. Now, be concise. Keep your responses within the time limit provided for each question. Aim to provide comprehensive answers without rambling on or going off topic. Now, this can be tricky for many of us, especially those who tend to ramble. Consider practicing your answers using the STAR method: situation, task, actions, and results. I'll put a link below to a guide I created in another video. Use notes sparingly. While it's acceptable to have some notes or bullet points to guide your responses, avoid reading directly from the script. This will slow you down. Your answer should sound natural and conversational. If you must, place your notes on post-it behind the camera to keep them out of sight. Now, review and edit. Review your recording and pay attention to any areas where you can improve clarity or coherence. Not all platforms allow you to re-record your answers. If necessary and if possible, don't hesitate to re-record if you have the option or think that you can do better. Not all platforms will allow you to re-record, so be sure you understand your options. And lastly, submit before the deadline. Once satisfied with your responses, submit them before the timer ends. Double check that all recordings have been successfully uploaded and that you haven't missed any questions before you sign off. Make sure you follow through with the submission process. I once had a client just exit without submitting, and his entire interview was lost. So let's learn from his mistake and follow through the process. I hope this is helpful to you. I'm open to comments and questions. Email me at 3amcareercoach@gmail.com or drop a comment below. See you in the next episode.